When Google came out, teachers should be saying, well, I don't need to teach anymore because they can go online and find the answers. Did Google shut down the school system? No, the school system is still there. For the past 10, 20 years, they've been saying robots is going to come and robots is going to take away all the jobs. If you are a programmer and you like creating stuff, you like building stuff, there is nothing that can come and take that passion away from you. There is nothing that can come and take that whole creativeness out of you. Welcome to my podcast. I am really excited about this podcast because the past 2-3 months, there is just a whole bunch of people getting shook up because of OpenAI ChatGPT. So this episode, we're going to focus on the impact of AI and machine learning in computer programming. So to start off, let us define AI, because I think for a lot of people, if they understand the concept of AI and machine learning, ChatGPT wouldn't really be a threat to them. However, this thing is a beast. So I can understand why a lot of people is having a hard time. Because I heard 3 people said to me so far that okay, they want to make a shift from computer programming into a more hands-on job where computers and that whole AI stuff will not be required. If you are a programmer and you like creating stuff, you like building stuff, there is nothing that can come and take that passion away from you. There is nothing that can come and take that whole creativeness out of you. So any AI or machine learning services should not intimidate you because you love doing those things. You live for that. That's your joy. That's your pride. That's your job. And would the demand be less for programmers? No, I really do not think ChatGPT can take over the industry, and I will give you a couple of reasons why. But before I get into that, let's define AI for the people who don't know what AI is. AI is abbreviation for artificial intelligence. Now, AI is the stimulation of human intelligence in a machine that trains that machine to think and learn. The most important word in that whole statement is stimulation. Now, if you Google the meaning stimulation, stimulation means to mimic or to imitate. In order for any AI service to give you an answer or to build something, that means that they have to have data. They have to have data in order for that AI service to give you a proper answer. If you Google your business that you did not put on the internet, then you would not get any type of results. Now, machine learning, on the other hand, deals with the development of algorithms. So machine learning use stuff like programming languages, frameworks, libraries to build and train machines to perform a specific task. For example, face recognition, natural language processing, or predictive modeling. So machine learning is a subfield of AI that deals with algorithm. Machine learning is not necessarily AI. For example, you have C, C++. C++ is a subset of C. So there are certain things you can do in C++ that you cannot do in C. For example, you cannot have classes in C. You cannot have polymorphism in C. You cannot do inheritance in C. So those two concepts is different, but it surrounds the same ideas. So that's the difference between AI and machine learning. The question is, how does AI and machine learning is changing the way how programmers are approaching programming or software development, app development? And to answer this question, it changes the field, the development field, by making things a bit easier for programmers. It does. It does help a lot. And ChatGPT should be a tool to help you as a programmer, even in the health. It doesn't matter what profession you're in. If you are into blog writing, if you are into drawing, if you are into web development, if you are into programming, those AI services are there to help give you ideas. There is a lot of sectors that claim ChatGPT would take over, or a service like ChatGPT would take over in the healthcare field, because the healthcare will use a lot of computer stuff. So it would take away a lot of jobs in the hospitals. It would take away a lot of jobs in schools. It would take away a lot of jobs as a computer programmer. It would take away jobs in the stock market, in the banking system. There is just a lot that claim ChatGPT would take over. And that is not the case. That is not true. That should not discourage you. When Google came out, teachers should be saying, well, I don't need to teach anymore because they can go online and find the answers. Did Google shut down the school system? No, the school system is still there. A lot of people Google their answers and hand it into the teachers, and they get a perfect grade. The teachers are still there. So when Google came along, big companies could have said, okay, you know what? I don't need that much developers anymore because Google is there. If I want a line of code, I would just go get it on Google. Or if I'm stuck, I'll just get the code on Google. So instead of having 100 developers, we're only going to use 10 developers. So you cannot think about ChatGPT in that way. You cannot think that ChatGPT is here to stay. You cannot think that any AI or machine learning will take away your job. Codes that you find on ChatGPT is codes that are already there on Google. If you Google the same code, you will find it. The only difference is ChatGPT just give it to you right and direct. You don't have to search for it in like how you search the whole list of results in Google. So ChatGPT should not intimidate you at all. So AI and machine learning, it does have an impact. It will help you. It will give you ideas. Even if you take someone else's idea, you still need to put some type of originality to yours. Look at Instacart and Uber Eats. The same ideas, but everyone have a different approach. Uber Eats focuses on food. Uber focuses on rides or pick up and drop off someone, so ride sharing. And Instacart focuses on groceries. Just like back in the day, you had grocery gateway, and then technology evolved, and now you can do all of this on your phone, and here comes Instacart. So the more technology advance, the more ideas people comes up with. The more idea you come up with, the more that stuff is being created, the more jobs will be placed in the employment sector. Look how many people working at Facebook. Look how many people working at Instagram. Look how many people working at Twitter. Look how many people working at Uber. All of those little apps people made by themselves. Probably one or two people got together, created an app, and it opened up the employment rate. Open up your mind to changes, accept changes. Nothing will take away any profession. Nothing. No robot. For the past 10, 20 years, they've been saying robots is going to come and robots is going to take away all the jobs. It's been over 10 years, and warehouse still have the number one, almost highest rate for employment in the country. Big companies like UPS, FedEx, Pure Litter, they still employ millions of people every single year. Is the robot taking over the warehouse? No, they're not. They may upgrade on machines, but you still need people to operate the machines. Here is why ChatGPT does not scare me. Okay, let's take it back. If you look back into the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, we can go as far as saying mid-90s. There weren't any computers really, there weren't any internet services. So people had to do stuff manually. If you wanted to build any type of if you are an architecture, you had to start that from scratch. If you are a carpenter, you had to start that from scratch. If you wanted a taxi, you had to get outside, flag that taxi down. If you were a student, you had to do your homework or do your schoolwork with knowledge. You did not have help from Google, YouTube, or any of those online platforms. You had to do the work yourself. Now technology evolves. Then I think it was Axe Jeeves came in, Yahoo came in, Google came in, Safari, YouTube, Microsoft. So you have this whole array of online tools you can use to make your work easier for you. Did that affect the economy? No, it did not. If any, it did boost the economy because people start using online tools, people start using the internet, and people are coming up with ideas constantly more than ever, and jobs are being produced more, stuff is being done more. If you ask me now, there's a lot of people now who's more creative than ever. Back then, everyone did the same type of jobs. Your dad is a carpenter or in the army, and the ladies does the stay-at-home mom or hairdressing, a nurse or a PSW worker or a doctor. They wanted to be in the healthcare field. So now that technology is evolving, there are a lot of people who are just doing things you never thought that you could have done to make money. Whoever thought that sitting in front of a camera making videos like this would own millions of dollars to some content creator? Who knew in the early 2000s that YouTube will come along and you could just make videos and get a bunch of views and make a lot of money? Who knew? No one knew. So if you were in the 80s, 90s and you hated that the internet is coming along and it's making stuff easier for a lot of people, and you work your way up and you were doing hard labor, and now the internet came along and it's easier for the newer generations, and you're upset because you went to school, you had to do things manually, you had to read books in order for you to answer your homework. Now you just go online and look up the answer. If you had that type of mentality, then there's a lot of jobs and there's a lot of things that you or people could not have done. Technology would not really evolve. So having ChatGPT should not scare you. That's number one. A next reason why ChatGPT should not scare you is that if ChatGPT or any AI services take away millions of jobs, just you think about it. If ChatGPT or any AI services takes away millions of jobs, what you think would happen? The whole economy would go down. In my opinion, the economy will go down. Why? Because there's a lot of people who's out of jobs. You out of job, you're not going to be able to pay your rent. You out of a job, you will not be able to make groceries. You are not buying the groceries, then the grocery store don't need to order food or order groceries. If you are not working, you will not go to any restaurant. After a while, they're going to close down. For example, look at what happened during the pandemic. The pandemic, everyone was inside. No one was not allowed to go outside. No one was not allowed to venture. So what happened? A lot of companies started losing businesses. A lot of companies started closing down. So if ChatGPT comes along and take away jobs from people, what's going to happen to the economy? If a lot of people lose jobs, they will depend on the government. If a lot of people is not making enough income, they will depend on the government. The government do not want to help anybody. So they would not allow machine learning and AI to dominate the employment field. I'm in Toronto right now. I'm in Toronto, Canada. And just last week, the government passed a law that whoever was working at home in certain field have to go back to work, go back in your office. Why? A lot of companies are saving when employees work at home because they don't have to pay any rent, mortgages, nothing for the space. They don't have to worry about internet bill. They don't have to worry about chairs and tables for their employees. They don't have to worry about a lot of things. And a lot of employees are showing up to work on time, and they're getting the work done from home. Now, the reason why, in my opinion, I think the government passed that law to go back, they are realizing how much the economy is going down. Just imagine that all of these employers who hired people and now they're working from home, a lot of the spaces are being put up for list or being sold or put up for rent. If the building go up for sale and it is not sold, then what would happen? There would be a lot of abandoned building. Now you run that building, and your sole income is getting a monthly check from that employer because that's your building. Now what's going to happen to all those people who purchase building? What's going to happen to all of those vacant buildings? What's going to happen? That's going to bring down the economy. So the government will never allow machine learning and AI services to dominate the employment sector because that's going to cause problems. The rent would have to be reduced. The groceries would have to be reduced. A lot of things would have to be reduced. A lot of people would end up on government assistance. What you as a developer is thinking? Wait. You might say, well, you just tell it your ideas and it gives you back that idea. Yes, you can. But as technology evolve, then here comes Uber, where you can use your phone and someone come to you, you pay, you don't have to handle cash, you don't have to handle debit, nothing. Once you make your order, you press OK, and that's it. And there's a lot of services out there like that. Yes, and they're doing fine. Yes, you can copy and do fine. But with new ideas also comes new jobs. New ideas always create a job. Look at Uber. New idea. Look how many people doing Uber all over the world making money. Look at Instacart. Look how many people doing Instacart and making money. New ideas will always create jobs. So anyone who is getting intimidated by ChatGPT and thinking that ChatGPT will take away their job or take away from them advancing as a programmer, it will not happen. It will never happen. As I said before, Google helped. Google made a lot of things easier for people to find online. Did Google took the jobs from a professor? No, you still have to go to school. Did Google took away jobs from developers. Because the same, as I said before, the same set of codes you find on Google is the same set of codes that ChatGPT spits out. Now, if you ask me, ChatGPT is amazing. I think for the past 10 years, ChatGPT is the top 5 things that's been invented and given to the public, and it's very useful, powerful, and sometimes can be a bit scary. With that being said, here is my problem with ChatGPT or any AI services at that. In the next couple of years, in the next 5 years from now, the world, North America, anybody that have internet services, there will be a lot of uneducated professionals running around. And why I say that is, if you are a student and you are using ChatGPT or you are using any AI services to complete your homework, to complete your schoolwork, that way of thinking shows your level of capacity. AI and machine learning not supposed to be your it person that you just sit back, you do it for you, and then, hey, this is my work. I was seeing a lot of mid-journey art or AI art on my Facebook feed, and they have names that it said drawn by, and I think the person was Shane or Sean something, I can't remember the name. If you use Midjourney a lot, if you use any AI services a lot, you can tell AI art from real art, because there's a lot of little details that AI would miss that would make you know that, hey, this is an AI art. So I've been seeing a lot of those drawings, and I'm like, I was saying, like, a real painter and a real artist would not do stuff like that. They would not go to any AI services, okay, draw me this, draw me that, and pass it on as, okay, this is my drawing. Now, what you can do, or what is okay, if you came up with the idea, you put it into Midjourney give you back an answer, then that's fine. It's your idea, you thought about it, you gave it to Midjourney gave it back to you. You can put your name on it, but the problem is where you said painted by or drawn by. That is not authentic. If you feel intimidated that ChatGPT will take your job or take away your profession or lessen your profession, then all you have to do is pivot, move around, shuffle around in the same field. Life is all about changes, evolvement, pivot. You should train yourself. Okay, this is not working, then I'll shift to this. If AI takes your job as a programmer or a developer, then you just become a teacher that teaches computer programming. You can teach computer programming on Udemy. People would still buy the course. If you don't know computer programming very well, you wouldn't know what to ask ChatGPT. You would not know what to ask Google. A lot of people still, Udemy, YouTube, still racking up views instead of Google, because a lot of people don't know where to start. So if you don't know where to start, what questions are you going to ask the AI services? So the new technology is evolving, the world is growing, everything is getting better, And I don't think that you as a person should allow a service, or should not allow a service like ChatGPT to intimidate your profession. So that's my take on machine learning and AI impact on programming. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me on this podcast, and just look out for the next podcast that is coming up. There's a lot of topics that I wanted to cover. There's a lot of things to talk about. So thank you for joining in. Thank you for coming, and I will catch you on the next episode.